Everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, another edition of a little show about big things, folks. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today is Wednesday, the June 18th, and we got a great show lined up for you guys today. Remember, if you're watching us for the very first time, this is Ocean's Pit, Monday through Friday at noon, the award-winning show at the Josie Awards, independent podcast here. So I'm excited. Josie Awards are actually a great organization that was at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, where we won the award 2 years ago. And it's just great to be here to entertain you guys. And we'll talk about some great stories. We're on Monday through Friday at noon. And the way the format usually goes, Monday I'm usually doing the show solo. Tuesday I have Carol Brandolino as Twisted Tuesday. And Wednesdays and Fridays we have guests. And, of course, we have Carol Brandolino also on Thursday as well for Toxic Thursday. So we try to have all kind of guests on. And we like to support local establishments, so that's very important too as well. But you're watching Ocean's Pit, and check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com. Give us a call at 847-769-8609 to book a show. Every show is dedicated to the first responders. Mostly it's dedicated to our good friends from the military who fight for our country. We want to thank all the veterans who fought, men and women who fought for our country as well. And it's dedicated to people like you who take the time and watch the show. My guest today is our friend Julie, and she is one of the owners of a brand new place. Well, it's been there for a long time. It's kind of new to me, but it's been there for a long time. It's called the Backyard Bar Marina, 614 Bald Knob Road in Johnsburg, Illinois. It's a friendly family restaurant bar right on the Chain of Lakes. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're highlighting it this week because not only to go out and support a local establishment like the place, but it's also we're going to be there this Sunday. Me and my good friend Lisa P. and Jerry Jams on Sunday the 22nd at 3 o'clock. It's Ocean's Pit. It's showtime. Let's go. Hello, it's Ocean's Pit, little show about big things, folks. That's right. We have a double header today. Not only do we have my friend Julie for the Backyard Bar and Marina, but we also have Wendy from Imperialux, of course, becoming your own bank. So we got two guests for you guys today. So we got a great show lined up for you. Now, let's get right to our sponsor, the great Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local. With two brand new locations, folks. That's right, Fox River Grove, Illinois, and Richmond, Illinois, as well as Norridge, Des Plaines, Evergreen Park, Warrenville, and Mesa, Arizona. Ace is the place, ladies and gentlemen. They got so many great deals going on for you. How about right now, get a free 5-amp-hour battery at $299 value and save an additional $100 when you buy an Eagle lawnmower model. Overall, that's $399 in savings, plus free assembly and delivery. Or save $30 and get a free 2.5 amp hour battery, $179 value when you buy either a 16-string trimmer or a 765 leaf blower. Less noise, less maintenance. All Eco batteries are compatible, ladies and gentlemen, with all Ego products. Buy 3 Ace pleated basic filters and get one free. That's enough to get you pie for the whole full year. That's our good friends from Ace Hardware. Also, don't forget the nationwide grilling event that's going to happen at the Norridge location on Saturday, June 28th, between the hours of 11 and 2. They're going to be giving you free grilling of brats, hot dogs, burgers, all in the parking lot. And then you're going to give you some great savings and deals inside the Norridge location. Tony Ocean, the Main Event Band, will be performing there from 12 to 1-hour concert on Saturday during the day at the for the Ace Hardware folks in Norridge. So don't forget to tell them to grill your ace off, our good friends from Ace Hardware. buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. And let's start off with well, boy, I'm going to tell you, this morning I got up. Now, let's take it back to yesterday, because yesterday, every now and then, you know how much I love animals, and we do so much for dogs. I do doing a lot for Almost Home Foundation for Dogs here in Schaumburg off of Irving Park Road. But we also do a couple of things for the Halfway Home a dog foundation, of course. And we did a big concert last night at the Tap House Grill in Lamont, put together by Danny Nozak and his wife, Dina. And we want to thank all the people that showed up last night. Full house. We want to thank Jeff, the owner of the establishment, always doing an incredible job over there. And they had a back room of all gift baskets and split the pot and everything you can imagine. All the money went for the dogs, folks, at the Halfway Home. They even had dogs out there so you guys can adopt. There was some big dogs, some little puppies as well. But it was a great turnout. And, of course, all the entertainers that came out, Frankie Setta with Chrissy came out. Of course, Ron Starr was there, Stephanie Lemon-Brigner, Double T, Tony Toto, and yours truly. And I think it was a $10 cover, and all the money went for the dogs. So it was a big success. Also, it was Dan's 60th birthday there. So it was a lot of fun. We want to thank you all for coming out. And it's very nice to do something back when it comes to animals, especially when it comes to dogs. But, we love all kind of animals. But this was very cool on that. And I was very excited to be part of that big thing, folks. I appreciate that very much. Also, Cara Bandolino was there with her son, Gianni, and even my wife, Laura, showed up. Julie Toto was there. It was great seeing some people there. But Gianni, a 17-year-old, got up and played his guitar and sang, which was pretty cool for a 17-year-old kid. And you know what? That's what I mean. You have to start early. And, some of these, don't give up on it, man, because that's how you learn. And he did a great job doing that. So, do you see Wendy? I don't see her yet, but she's there. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it was a great event. Thank you for everybody that showed up. And now we're going to keep it going to tomorrow, folks. We are going to be at Positano's in Oak Brook. Now that's going to be, for me, I'll start about 7:30. I got a little party I'm doing, of course, for Stroll Magazine out of Park Ridge, Park Ridge, Edison Park area, for my good friend Dolly McCarthy with Double T, Tony Todd. I'll be there from 6 to 7. And then off to Positano's with Lisa P. and Jerry Jams. That's going to be 7:30 start in Oak Brook. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Saturday, we're in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. We're at the beautiful Getaway restaurant, folks, right next to the French Country Inn. We're going to be outside. It's starting about, I think it's 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, something like that. But it's going to be gorgeous, right on the water in Lake Geneva. And then Sunday, for the very first time, I'll be at a place called the Backyard Bar Marina in Johnsburg. And, of course, the owner, Julie, is going to be on the show here for the first part of the show. And we'll be talking about that great little establishment. So we're excited. It's supposed to be hot this weekend, folks. It's going to be hot Saturday. It's going to be hot Sunday. So be comfortable. Hopefully, we're going to bring a lot of fans, not only people that are coming to see the show, but actually fans to keep us cool, because it's going to be hot. And then the second part of the show, we got my good friend Wendy Thompson from Imperialux will be joining us, Becoming Your Own Bank, talking about financing and talking about how you save your money and all that good stuff. All right, so let's get to one more quick sponsor, folks, and we're talking about real estate at its finest. And you can't get better than my good friend Mary Grievous. Don't just call me when you're ready to buy or sell. Contact me when you're considering buying or selling. She's your forever agent, Mary Grievous at mgrievousstarkre.com. Berkshire Hathaway Stark Real Estate. Give her a call at 630-688-1725. She's able to assist buyers, sellers, for sale by owners, and expired listings. That's my good friend, Mary Grievous, folks. And, of course, not only does she handle real estate, she also handles NTD Vacations. And you know what that means. It's the Chicago Music Cruise 2026. Now, we've already done 2 already with the great band Seventh Heaven and Tony Ocean and the Main Event Band. It's going to happen again, folks. It's time for you guys to jump on this deal, because it's a deal you can't pass up. First of all, it's a brand new ship. The last two we did with the Royal Caribbean. Now we're going to be on the MSC World America, brand new ship, January 17th to January 25th, 2026. It's 7-night Western Caribbean cruise, Miami, Honduras, Costa Maya, Cozumel, Costa Rica, Ocean Cay. It's going to be fantastic. 7 nights, Tony Ocean, the main event band, and of course, Seventh Heaven. We got a couple more entertainers going to be joining us. Go to ChicagoMusicCruise.com. Put in Tony Ocean, ladies and gentlemen, or better yet, give Mary a call at 630-681725 and say, hey, I want to go on the ocean with Ocean. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm very excited about that. And let's see who's watching today. There's Miles Green, another great entertainer in Chicago. Evo from Florida. Jeanette, how you doing? Oh, Carol, you got on. I'm glad he's having a good time. Let's do round 2 tomorrow at Positano's. Let's bring him up. Let's play. Do that guitar stuff. He did a great job. And that's life. He did a great job singing as well. So it was a lot of fun. Gina, thank you guys for coming last night, all of you. Dina and Dan, thank you guys. All right, there's the total, folks. They raised over $3,000 for the Halfway Home Foundation, and 5 dogs got adopted. That's what it's about, folks. Fundraiser. You make money for the dogs, and 5 beautiful dogs got brand new homes. Before yesterday, they were halfway home, and today they're home because of what goes on with the dogs. So we're very excited about that. All right, Jeff Hunt is there. How you doing? Ellie Weinhardt, Ronnie B, Carol, Vince Ramundi, everybody, welcome. Jerry Jams is watching. Got a couple more minutes before we bring on our very first guest. Now, you know what's interesting? Something that we didn't do yesterday. We didn't talk about yesterday, and it's going to be kind of short. But if you're Beatles fans, and there's a lot, I'm a diehard Beatles fan. If you're a Beatles fan and you collect all the Beatles albums when they came out, on June 14th of 1966, they came out with a Butcher Block cover, Capitol Records. It was a picture of all the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo, with lab coats on, and they had like baby meats. I mean, it didn't look right. It would look like they were butcher shop and there was blood, and Capitol Records thought that would not work suitable to release this. So they had to come up with another cover and just put them in like dressed up in these little front cover thing where Paul was in a little suitcase, whatever it was. I don't know. But anyway, they tried to put a new sticker on over the other one, and if you have some of the original ones, they're worth a lot of money. But that's what had happened back in June 14th, 1966. The Butcher Block cover that everybody talks about, and then they changed the title to Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow with the Beatles, Dr. Robert, and a couple of other songs around that. But interesting stuff here, folks, for all you Beatle fans out there as well. Well, another thing that's interesting, this happened June 17th, 1885. The Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. It was a gift from France. That happened June 17th, 1885. Very, very interesting there, folks. How about it, man? And who knows? I'm sure they regret giving us that statue. I don't know. Nuts. R. Kelly, back in the news again, ladies and gentlemen. R. Kelly, a great singer, songwriter, rapper at the time when he came out. He took over the world. I Believe I Can Fly, and how many great songs. But then for years, there was always that rumor in the back of the sexual stuff with the younger kids, and and he went through a lot. I mean, there was rumors for a long, long time. Obviously, he got arrested. He went to jail yesterday. I guess according to ABC News, he tried to commit suicide with an overdose in prison. Obviously, he's still alive. Reason why I mentioned this because I did do 2 shows with R. Kelly. I was actually the announcer when he did his tribute to Sam Cooke. And he took this show. We did New York, we did Los Angeles, we did Atlanta, and I was on the road with him. Never really hung with him. I seen him at the sound check. I seen him at the show. We were invited at the party at his house when he debuted this tribute to Sam Cooke, which he did a very good job, and the band was fantastic. And then, of course, he actually came to one of my gigs. And then I think I told you the story. I don't know if I did, but he came to one of my gigs on a Friday. He came to Chicago Prime Steakhouse. I remember this was years ago. And my family was there at the time, and my two daughters as well. My one daughter, Marissa, was there. And he came up and he sang "My Girl" with me, and this was everything. I didn't think anything of it, but then, like, towards the end of the night, one of his guys, his goons or whatever it was, his bodyguard, handed R. Kelly's phone number to my daughter. Now, mind you, folks, that R. Kelly had no clue that that was my daughter, and of course, the rest is history. I just went off, and that ended that, and then karma. Calendar, he got his due. So there's no acceptance for that, folks. He's got everything that's going to him he deserves, and that's all there is to it, folks. What else are you going to say? All right, we'll talk about one more thing, and then we're going to bring up our first guest, of course, Julie from the Backyard Barn Marina. Chili's. We're speaking about restaurants. Chili's. I don't know if you've been to Chili's, a Mexican sort of American Mexican restaurant, folks. I didn't realize this, folks, but they sell more margaritas at Chili's than any other place in the United States of America, folks. They sell over 25 million margaritas. I never thought that. I mean, Chili's. Now, mind you, they're $6, according to the price here, $6 a drink. And they're selling 25 million they sold. They sell more margaritas than anyone else in the United States. That is just amazing. Amazing, amazing. And, that's a lot of margaritas. All right. So, like I said, we got our first guest on, folks, and we're going to bring her on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's get up here and let's get on. Okay. Let's bring up my good friend Julie, who's going to be joining us here. I think she's coming on here. Hold on. I see her. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Julie from the Backyard Barn Marina, 614 Bald Knob Road in Johnsburg, Illinois. Julie, how are you doing today?
Hi, Tony. I'm doing great today. Looking forward to a wonderful weekend on Lake Pistaki in Johnsburg, Illinois. And definitely looking forward to you playing.
Well, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And first of all, I appreciate you having us. It's going to be fun. It's going to happen this Sunday, folks. That's June, the 21st of June. And Julie, let's see here. One of the proud owners of the Backyard Bar Marina in Johnsburg, a lively lakefront destination known for great food, live music, and family fun on the chain of lakes. Julie, how long has the Backyard Marina been there?
So it's been there for forever and a day. We have a gentleman who has been coming to our bar for his entire lifetime. He's 86 years old, and he claims that he was kicked out of the bar when he was 17 for underage drinking. So that gives you an idea how long there's been an establishment.
So that gives you a story. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And now, what kind of food do you have? You bar food? What kind of food do you offer?
So it is American food. We have we have some recipes that have a Thai flair. So we have our Thai rice bowls, which can be made gluten-free. And people are really enjoying those. But we have all your typical, American food on our menu. Almost everything is completely handmade, including our fries. And people have really been, really enjoying the food. I've heard a lot of really amazing comments about the food this year. We do have our buckets of burgers, buckets of meatball sliders, buckets of pork sliders. So those are really fun to share if you have a group.
And you have a group going there. And obviously the drinks that you have, but what's your biggest seller over there, would you say? Beer, hard liquor, wine? How does that work over there?
Definitely, I don't know what it is about this type of alcohol, but Tito's is our number one seller by far. So it's a very popular alcohol. There you go, Tito's.
Yep. There you go. Absolutely. Tito's is good. So that's your one. And it's family fun. It's been there. It's on the chain. What lake is it actually on?
So it's on
again?
Lake Pistaki, which is the first lake, like north of the river. The Fox River goes through the area, and we're the first lake north of McHenry.
Okay, and it's been there for so long, as you were saying over there. That's interesting. Now, how did it come up with the name, if you don't mind
Sure.
me asking?
Yeah, so we actually, my husband Brian and I, and our friend Nick, are the owners of the establishment. We bought it in April of the year before last. Prior to us owning it, it was called the Lake House on Pistaki, and we changed the name to the Backyard Bar and Marina because we want you to make our backyard your backyard. So
Uh, Very catchy. Do you even sell? Do you sell shirts like that? You should have that shirt selling. You sell those shirts
we
like that?
we
That
have
would be kind of
shirts.
cool.
We have shirts and hats. So if anybody comes out on Sunday, come on over and buy a hat to shade your face in the super hot weather that you referred to earlier.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hot, so we're excited about that. That's yeah, and there's so many great. When you're on the chain, it's not only do you going out, which was nice about it, because not only you're going to a family type restaurant with the atmosphere, but then there is, like I said, the chain of lakes over there, and there's so much stuff that's going on over there. Are you? What's your hours over there?
So we're open daily from 11 to 10. Let's see, Sunday through Wednesday. And then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're open from 11 a.m. till 2 a.m.
Okay, so is that common over there for that late? Of because I didn't know places still stayed open that late.
Yes, we have a 2 a.m. liquor license. So we have a contingent of people who are late nighters. So we stay open during the day. Have you been to the location, Tony?
No, I have not. I have not been there yet. I know our good friend Lisa P, who hangs out there all the time.
It's about a 2-acre parcel. We have a huge outdoor area here. And
okay. Well, that's fantastic too. Now, you know what they usually say in bars that are that stay open after nothing good ever happens after 12 o'clock. You guys are open till 2 o'clock. That's fantastic. Do you still a lot of liquor sales at after midnight?
It depends on the day because as the weekend wears on, people get a little maybe they need to take a nap, So
Yes.
yes.
Good one. Good one. I like that too. And what time do you stop selling food there?
9 p.m. Our kitchen closes. Normally on Thursdays, we keep our kitchen open until 10 because if you've ever been to a place called Blarney Island, it's a lake, it's an island.
Sure.
So all the people after Thursday night boat races come to our place and we kind of have a party, 2 a.m. with all those people.
And it keeps it going. Yes, we've played Blarney's Island a few times in the past. Yes, absolutely. So what happens? We have Julie here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Backyard Bar and Marina, 614 Bulb Knob Road in Johnsburg, Illinois. For some people that are not familiar with Johnsburg, what's the biggest town next to it that people might? Oh, is it McHenry or what is it?
Yeah, McHenry is probably the biggest town near us, and I live in McHenry. It's like about 10 minutes from McHenry.
Okay, forget there, folks. And Julie, let me ask you something. What's the winter like at the Backyard Marina? Obviously, the summer, they got the boats, everybody's out doing that. But what's the winter like over there?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, quite a bit slower in the winter. We are on the end of a peninsula.
Yeah.
You have to go through a neighborhood to get to our location. So sometimes it can be disorienting. You're like, am I going the right place? But in the summer, we also have the boat traffic. We have 58 boat slips, and we get a lot of traffic off the water in the winter or in the summer that we don't get in the winter. There are winter sports, ice fishing. If we have, there's a thing called a radar mobile races that we do in the winter. And we have some really awesome parties in the winter that bring people in. But it's a nice, cozy spot to come and hang out. And it's not loud in the winter. So, yeah, come on out in the winter anyway.
And it's got to be great. It's got to be a great place to go out there on Monday Night Football or watch football on Sunday, and then Thursday Night Football. Right? I'm sure you get a lot of people watching sports, and especially like that. So it's a great place to be. We're excited about that. And Tony, me and Lisa P and Jerry Jams will be performing there this Sunday at the Backyard Bar Marina, 614 Bald Knob Road in Johnsburg. Julie, I'm looking at your thing you sent me to. You also have a dabble a little bit background in law. Were you a lawyer at one time, or what do you do with that?
I am a lawyer, licensed in Illinois and Arizona. I concentrate my practice in estate planning and what comes after. So I help people who have a disabled loved one or deceased loved one through all of that, kind of get to the other side of that. So yeah, I still practice law full time. My practice is completely virtual. I can do an in-person meeting, but for the most part, I don't. We try to make the estate process as easy as possible. You can do it from your couch, in your pajamas, who wants to do this stuff anyway?
Right.
Talk about death and dying. Woo!
And that's what it's like, right? Now, is there a difference between when you do it in Illinois and between Illinois and Arizona? What's the big difference?
Well, Arizona is what's called a community property state. And so there's rules about spouses that are different in Arizona than in Illinois. So like a lot of times, I don't know if you have a trust, or maybe your listeners might have a trust, or trusts, plural, but in Arizona, normally it's like a joint trust for a married couple, versus in Illinois, we're normally doing 2 trusts, 1 for each spouse. So that's the main difference, Arizona to here.
So being a lawyer full-time and still doing this, did you always want to open a bar? How did this fall into your lap?
So
if you don't mind me asking.
As a child, as a 15-year-old, I started working at McDonald's, and I worked there all through high school, undergrad, and law school. And so that's kind of a hidden passion of mine, is the restaurant business. And then my husband, Brian, he's a mortgage broker, but he was the type of mortgage broker. He didn't like going to chamber events and marketing events and things like that. So he'd always have a customer facing business where he would meet people. And it was normally like an entertainment, either bar, restaurant. We've had kids entertainment centers. We have owned a whitewater rafting company. And so this is it's just a much more fun way to do marketing for our other business.
Is it hard sometimes when you have husband and wife working together in any establishment? But is it right? Who comes up with the ideas? Do you guys actually all sit together and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that? How does it work when you guys work together? Which is kind of cool, I think.
I'm sorry, Tony, I didn't hear your question.
Okay, I'm sorry again. Is it hard to work with your husband? Who comes up with the ideas? When you have you guys sit down and say, I got an idea. You got an idea. Very, very cool. Okay. So it's interesting, folks, because I like when you see the husband and wife, they're working at an establishment and trying to make things, coming up with ideas and stuff like that. How long, Julie, how long have you been having entertainment there?
So like even before we owned it, there's normally a live entertainment on Saturdays and Sundays. Fridays we'll have live music or a DJ on Friday nights in the evening. So this Friday we have New Odyssey guy is going to be there on Friday night, 6 to 9. And then we have a band called the Couch Cartel going to be there Saturday from 3 to 6. And then you, of course, to top off the weekend, we have Tony on Sunday. I can't wait.
It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it, Julie. I want to thank you, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, again, my Marina, 614 Bald Knob Drive in Johnsburg, Illinois. Family fun, great food, right on the Oceana Lakes, Pistaki Lake, and we're going to be there on Sunday. Julie, I want to thank you for your time. I know you're busy doing what you got to do, and we appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. Do you have a website where they can come and check out the Backyard Bar Marina?
Sounds great. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it.
No problem. You have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. My good there, Julie, ladies and gentlemen, folks, the Backyard Bar Marina. bar. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be hot, so dress comfortably. Dress comfortably and get ready to have some cocktails because we're going to have a good fun. A lot of fun this Sunday. Excuse me, me and Lisa P. and Jerry Jams. Thank you, Julie. All right. Excuse me. We got a couple more things, and then we're going to bring up in the next 10 minutes or so, we're bringing up my good friend, of course, Wendy Thompson from Imperialux will be joining us very, very shortly, folks. And did I throw? Yes, I threw the wrong one away, didn't I? So you got to watch yourself, folks, because sometimes, yep, I threw the wrong day away. I'm still have the 17th, and today is the 18th. It's one of those days. All right, folks, and let's not forget now another company that we like promoting establishments. Now, tomorrow is Toxic Thursday with Carol Brandolino, and Friday I'm coming up with something brand new called Rank the Albums or Rank the Groups. I'm going to have, we're going to start off this Friday. We're going to have 3 panelists, and we're going to bring up a topic, and we're going to show like the best of. And we're going to do the best of the Beatles. If you are Beatle fans, and we're going to have Nick Sahajas on Friday. We're going to have Chris Minardi on, and we're going to have Matt Cassane on. And they're all we're going to pick our 10 best Beatle records. And we're going to pick a different topic every month, whether it's the Stones or another band, probably do the Beach Boys now that we just lost Brian Wilson. We'll pick great guitar players. We'll pick the best politicians. We're just going to pick different topics, ranking the stuff. But we're going to start with the Beatles on Friday. So hope you guys can join us on that. Greg, I got my good friend Greg and Jennifer from Taverna on Division in the house. Check it out, Melrose Park, right there on Division Street. Voted the best outside patio in the suburbs of Chicago. Dennis from Lake Geneva. There's the captain. Step up. Arika, hope you're doing well. Dennis, Jill, Indiana, Professor Danny Mazzi, Armando Supermarkets, 925 Liberty Street in God, I'm horrible today, guys. I'm losing it in Elgin, Illinois. All right, so couple other things here that we kind of forgot, and I'm going to say before I bring up Wendy Thompson from Imperialux. Very, very cool. Governor DeSantis out of Florida. Now, either you love him or you hate him. And I seem to like the guy. I like the way his policies are. I like what he does. I like the no shit bullshit, tells it like it is. And, you know, when all this crazy stuff was going on with the protesting and whatever it was going on, like I said, we talked about this yesterday or the day before. I don't care if anybody has a protest. You should go out and protest. You have every right to go protest peacefully. And what happened in Los Angeles and sometimes here in Chicago, stuff that was happening in the city is pathetic. But I loved what DeSantis says. It's okay to defend yourself if you have to run over a protester blocking the road. Telling it like it is, especially if they're on your property. DeSantis, you got to love him, man. You got to love him. Tells it like it is. And that's what I love about that, man. He just says it right. And it's funny because, you know, they had this, the protest in the city of Chicago, but their study shows, it's kind of interesting, and it makes sense if you don't live here. But study shows, folks, just a week in Chicago to come and vacation, to come visit. It's a beautiful city. Restaurants, so many things to do. Museums, musicals. It's fantastic, the city and the suburbs. It's a little different now than it used to be, folks. But they're saying if you come here for a week in Chicago, and it's supposed to help you mentally and put your mood in a better place, like 35% going to make you feel better if you stay for a week here in Chicago. And I believe that, but I also believe that when you go on vacation somewhere, you're kind of more laid back. You're looking forward to having a little fun. So I think anywhere you go, with me, I don't care where I go. And also sometimes when you're on vacation, sometimes it's who you're with, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends. It can be, if you're with the right people, it doesn't make a difference where you go. You're going to have a good time. And you will have a good time if you come to Chicago, folks, and at least visit. I think it's very, very important on that. So that's it. All right, so we got a couple more things, though, and don't forget another thing that happened, folks. June 14th, 1986. If you remember the movie Casino, the death of Tony Splatro, of course, the mafioso, that they found him and his brother's body in a cornfield in Indiana. If you watch the movie Casino, it's kind of a story of Joe Pesci playing Splatro. I never got to meet Tony. I met one of his older brothers, but it's a tragic story. And any of those stories, how they try to glorify the mob and stuff like that, or glorify gangs, or glorify certain things. There's an element to that, of course. The clothes, the cars, the attitude, you know what I mean? But there's also the dark side of it. And then you hear, like, this is like, if you look at Goodfellas and you look at Casino and you look at all these gangster mafia movies, Hoffa, look at the Hoffa story, The Irishman, and look at Gotti, the movie with Armin Asante, not the one with John Travolta, but just in general, it's still, when these people die or these people go away, they have families too. You know, they had kids. It's stuff. And then you have to go through your whole life. Oh, your dad was, or your mom was, or stuff like that. There's nothing. There's no glory in that at all, folks. There's no glory in that. It might look good on the TV movies and stuff like that, but if you read the books and you know the stories, it's not glorifying at all. It's also daughter-in-law day, so to my daughter-in-law, Ange, how are you doing, my friend? All right. So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, now for the weather. Now, before we do that, folks, how about Jack Vena Landscaping? Before we bring up my good friend Wendy Thompson coming in pretty soon here from Imperialux. Excuse me. Let's talk about my good buddy Jack Vena Landscaping. If you're looking for landscaping, you're looking for a company that does it right, they know how to do it. That's right. They offer monthly maintenance programs, bush trimming, spring, fall cleanup, bed mulching, fertilizing, weed control. They offer plant design service, installation, servicing the North Shore for over 50 years. Call Tommy at 847-432-5266. That's Jack Vena Landscaping. And folks, if you're looking for my man, if you're looking for a lawyer and you want it done right, everybody's looking for a lawyer. You're always going to need a lawyer somehow. McCampbell Law Group, Roy McCampbell, attorney at law, a statewide law practice that is client-focused and results-driven. He's the man for you. Give Roy a call at 708-275-4264 and tell him Tony O sent you and get that special deal. All right, now we're going to get to the weather, ladies and gentlemen, and it's that time. And that's brought to you by the JRC Ace Hardware Minute, brought to you by Ace Hardware. Today's weather for Wednesday, June 18th. It's 78 degrees out there. Feels very humidity. Feels like it's 81. I was out this morning. I did catch a bass before my meeting. I went to go see breakfast with my buddy Russ at Dino's in Bloomingdale. Great breakfast food, by the way. Anyway, it was hot. It was muggy, and it's hot now. It was just pouring rain right when the show started, and now it doesn't look like it's raining outside. But it is 78 degrees. Feels like it's 81. It's 75% humidity right now, 5-mile-an-hour winds. And it's supposed to rain all day. It says 30%, 40% starting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, going all till the night. So I got a feeling it's going to be raining. I know it rained really bad last night. So I don't know what you guys are doing outside, but just be careful. Anyway, that's the Ace Hardware Minute. Brought to you by JRC Ace Hardware Stores. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. All right, and last but not least, folks, before we bring Wendy on, we got some more shows coming up. Now, you know that we got tomorrow will be at Positano's in Oak Brook with Lisa P. and Jerry Jams. I will be starting at 7:30, so come on out at 7:30. It's going to be a good time. Retro night, 1985. We're going to go back and have some fun. Friday, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be at Chicago Prime Steakhouse. That's an 8 o'clock gig in Schaumburg. Saturday, we'll be in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. You can't beat Lake Geneva, folks. We're right on the water. Lake Como, the Getaway, great restaurant. Right next door is the French Country Inn Hotel, which, by the way, I hear is sold out, which is a good sign. And we're going to be performing with Double T, Tony Toto, and Jerry Jams. Now, that is Saturday, folks. And then Sunday, We had our guest, Julie. We're going to be at the Backyard Barn Marina in Johnsburg, Illinois, and that's a 3 o'clock hit. Jerry Jams and Lisa P. Next Wednesday, we'll be at Rosario's in Roselle with Double T Tony Toto on the 25th. Oceans Rat Pack will be at the Taste Concert in the Park in Burr Ridge on the 26th. Elliot Winbush as Sammy Davis. Yours truly as Dean Martin. Bill Saratella as Frank Sinatra. We also got Jerry Jams there. Now, that's on the 26th in the Circle there, downtown Burr Ridge. On the 28th, we'll be at Johnny's Kitchen and Tap in Glenview with Jerry Jams. July 1st, Oceans Rat Pack goes to Beers, Stogies, and Steins. Outdoor concert in the park. There's going to be beer. There's going to be cigars. It's going to be great. July 1st. It's a Tuesday. 6 o'clock, Oceans Rat Pack, Elliot Winbush, Bill Saratella, yours truly, and Double T Tony Toto. I'm excited about that because it's something new and we need new places. That's how that works, right? All right. So let's get to my second guest. And before we bring her on, let's talk about Imperial-Luxe. What is Imperial-Luxe? And Wendy's going to be on. She's going to be on once or twice a month. She's on twice a month, and we're going to try to talk about certain things that Imperial-Luxe can do for you. So I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take like one certain thing, and we're going to talk about that. And every time she's on, she's going to keep adding to what Imperial-Luxe is all about. Now, imagine putting your money to work for you, becoming your own bank, making your dream retirement a reality with guaranteed lifetime income. Wendy Thompson and Craig Cogman help you create personal pensions, grow your wealth, secure your legacy. It's never too late to start. Take charge of your financial future today. Pick up the phone and call them at 630-890-1213 or book them on Calendly for a free consultation and start building the retirement you deserve. And that's Imperial-Luxe, 630-890-1213 with our good friend Wendy Thompson. So let's bring up Wendy, and we'll keep the name up there so you guys can see what Imperial-Luxe is all about. There she is. Hello, Wendy. How are you doing?
Doing great, Tony. How are you?
Good. And everything good over there in the household over there? Everything, you guys are having fun over there, I hope?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with the weather and hardly ever home.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You guys got a busy schedule too, and everybody asks me too, like with me, Tony, how the hell do you do it? And I'm working every night. We're out in bars every night working, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I think I only have 2 days off the whole month of June and July and August as well. So it is a little, but you got to keep going because that's what keeps us going. Now you got all the information down here about Imperial-Luxe. Wendy, what are you going to talk about Imperial-Luxe? Now, we've talked ahead a couple times on the show. We're going to have you twice a month on the show talking about different parts of Imperial-Luxe. So let's break it down today. What do you want to talk about specially today about Imperial-Luxe?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I want to, before I, forget, I actually am having a webinar next week Tuesday. And so I'll put the link in the chat. So that way everybody has it. In fact, I'll just go ahead and push that in there now.
And where is this?
This is just going to be on Zoom. So it's going to be, easy peasy, 7 p.m. And why I'm offering this is just, I know we have a few minutes and I appreciate, your plugins and everything like that. But I think sometimes people get a little like, well, I want to know more, but I want to stick my toe in the water kind of thing. And so this will be a great way for you to get, be able to ask questions and also be able to have more of a close knit. And I'll go into more deeper, details of the things that, they don't teach you in school.
Well, that's important. And guys, if you're watching right now, Kathy, how you doing? Eppolito from California watching. Hi, Robert. Wendy just posted it. It's going to be June 24th, 7 p.m., Becoming Your Own Bank. And you can just log on there and watch Wendy. It's a webinar, and she's going to talk about it. So it's kind of cool. For some people that are just joining us, when you hear the word becoming your own bank, very important. When you hear the word putting your money to work for you, that's everybody's eyes kind of, how can I do that? And Wendy, when you were on the show before, there's so many probably other companies that do stuff like this, right? And different aspects. But you guys kind of break it down. You do more stuff than just that. You do estates and you do wills and stuff. Tell us a little bit about what because we got some time. It's all you. Go ahead.
Okay, got it. Well, yeah, I think more. It really starts, more or less. It really starts with what people's thoughts are when it comes to their own personal finances, and so along with that, it's really important who you have in your corner. A lot of people have dreams and goals, but if you don't put like the works behind it, then they're just wishes. And I don't know about you, but I can't wish that I'm going to retire, someday, right? And someday is just an illusion because someday never comes. Tomorrow hopefully comes, but we never know exactly what that is. And I think the biggest misunderstanding about, personal finances out there and what is available is, oh, well, I'm going to think about it. Well, actually if you put time in, time to work, it'll work for you. If you procrastinate and you take too much time to think about what it is that you want to do, you're missing the boat. Because the one thing I can say is that some of these vehicles out there, and what sets us apart from other companies out there is that we actually take a step-by-step, depending on the person's speed, to implementation, but really very transparent. I'm going to sit down and tell you the upside and the downside of even the stuff that we give. And so it's really more of taking the time to find out what is most important to you. What are your goals? What direction do you want to go in? And then we go and find out the best options for you. Now, here's the thing. I can help with making sure that we're keeping up with inflation. I can help with making sure that you never run out of money in retirement as long as it's properly funded and you have time, right? It doesn't take as much time as most people think. It just might take a little bit more of funds, right? I can also help and make sure that we're putting people in good positions in case life takes a left turn for health issues. People can have, all the health insurance that they want or need or pay for, but health insurance isn't going to replace your income. So if for whatever reason you cannot work and so on and so forth, then therefore, that could really put a hindrance. Also taxation, right? How many people out there are feeling like they're either overtaxed, taxed to death, whatever? I mean, the crazy part about it,
especially in this state, Wendy. Especially in this state.
Yeah, especially, exactly. And when you think about that, we're taxed when we're born, and we're also taxed when we die. And then we pay an exorbitant amount of taxes in between. So it's nothing that you're ever going to get away from. They say you're never going to get away from death or taxes. Hence the reason why a lot of people, one, they don't want to have the conversation because they think it's just circling around death. But I am here to tell you that we can actually have solutions and really sit down and plan for your life, for living. And then if your concern is your family, your kids, your grandkids, we can plan for that too. And it doesn't take like silver spoon generational wealth to create generational wealth, right? And everybody's situation, I have to put a disclaimer in there because in the last month, we've had meetings upon meetings about compliance and the FTC coming down on what we can say and what we can't say, in a recorded sense and whatnot. And it's wild to me. It's wild to me that, yes, there's a lot of advertisement. There's a lot of information out there, but it's wild to me when people say, oh, well, they said this. Well, I am here to tell you it's just for the same reason why they put the directions on a microwave dinner. Remove plastic before consumption.
Correct.
It's the same. Yeah. It's the same concept. Everybody's situation financially is different. Wouldn't you agree? Right. And so
absolutely,
when we put information out there, it really is to help you. But really, the only way that it's going to truly help you is if you have a sit down and one-on-one conversation with myself. And Craig and I are the type of people that even if you don't connect with me or you don't connect with Craig, connect with somebody out there.
Yeah.
Let's get this taken care of, because the only true feeling of freedom is when you have the peace of mind that your stuff is taken care of and you're working with the right people. You have to have someone
And
that
it
has
keeps you
heart.
going like that. Wendy with Imperialux is our guest here, folks. Wendy, now let's see. Now, the normal age of retirement, if I'm correct, is it now 67 to get the full, or is it 65? Aren't they trying to change it to even 70 now?
Oh,
They're trying.
they're
They're
yeah,
trying to
well, they're
extend
trying to change it on the paper, but really when you say is the real retirement age that, actually what I'm seeing is people are not able to retire. Yes, they say that you can retire by age 67 and you have options to take Social Security at 62, 65, 67, and 70. And the longer you wait, obviously, the more that you're going to get, which is really
Correct.
incremental. That's
Correct.
as long as it stays intact, right? And it's kind of like, if you think about retirement as a three-legged stool, the rule of thumb has always been, okay, Social Security, savings, and having some sort of pension. Well, most people don't have pensions nowadays, so you're sitting on a two-legged stool. And if you don't have enough in savings and you're solely working on making sure that you have the Social Security was never meant to like completely fund your retirement. So I don't know how many people can actually balance on a one-legged
Live on
stool.
that. Well, and it's
Yeah.
funny you mention that, because yesterday I mentioned something, a quote that I seen on social media that said, if you have like 4,500 or something dollars in your savings, you're more richer than 50% of the world right now.
Yeah.
And you got to think about that. And another thing, whether you are a President Trump fan or not, or a Governor DeSantis out of Florida, when they're trying to say, why do the people still be taxed on your home after it's paid off? Why are they doing this, Wendy? Why do they still have to get taxes on a house that you've already owned, and they still, they just want to keep taxing you? I never understood that part. I mean, you already paid for it when you and the government doesn't want you to stop doing that. They want to keep getting that tax. You know what I mean? So,
well, it's because they got used to getting that income. I mean, let's face it, us as individuals, when you make a certain amount, you're used to that income. The thing that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration is inflation, and the cost of things continue to keep go up. It's for the very same reason that here in the state of Illinois, the tolls, when they originally were formulated, or they had promised, oh, well, we're only going to have these for 10 years and we'll have enough money to take care of the roads here on out. It's the same reason that downtown Chicago, city of Chicago used to own the parking, right? When you would, and they don't own it anymore. They sold it. So, and it's to a company that's not even a US based company, right? And so they took out their own personal revenue streams for the short gains, because the people that have been put into place are not thinking of the people. They're thinking about other things. Maybe
they're even putting a toll to get on Lakeshore Drive. You heard about this? They're going to try to put a toll.
Oh no, I didn't. I avoid
to get onto Lakeshore Drive. This is what our governor is trying to do here in Illinois. And for people that you talk to, Wendy, when you're talking to people about Imperialux and becoming your own bank and trying to help them with their finances, are you seeing more older people or younger people doing this?
I'm seeing a mix. The last years that I had, 14 years that I have decided to be a student. And I will tell you this, Tony, I'm still a student. Some people definitely consider me an expert. However, that's because I've put in the hours. I've put in the work. That's another reason why people should sit down and talk with me, because I've put in the work. It's not like you're going to Google it and AI is going to take over and take care of your finances. You've never met AI, right? I mean,
no,
and I think
at least, but Wendy, at least not yet.
At least not yet. And so with your point of that, I think a lot of it has to do with, there's a big circle of information out there. And there's a portion of that circle of the things that you know, like, for example, you know how to drive a car, right? You know how to put the key in the ignition, put the gas in the gas tank, or, you know, plug in your car if you have an electric one, whatever. But it's also, there's an also section of that big circle of, you know, of things that you don't know. Like, so for example, you know that it's not like you're going to buy a plane ticket and then as you're boarding, you'll be like, you know what? I've always wanted to try one of these things. I've actually played a game that actually taught me how to fly a plane, right? Like, you're not going to go ahead and just decide to take the 747 down. So it's the same concept. It's the same concept with your finances. If there's things out there, and the only reason why I press upon this is because skepticism is you'll get more of skepticism if that's what is keeping you from making decisions. And it doesn't cost you anything to sit down with somebody, right? And so, you know, getting all of this knowledge, and I'm so appreciative to being able to talk on your show today and to all the wonderful people. But you know what? All this information is great, but if you don't apply it or implement it or talk with someone who's a professional that has your back, then it's useless. It's absolutely, because people used to
agree with you.
Yeah, knowledge is power. It's not power.
Right. And you need, correct. And you need someone to talk to face and who knows what's going on. And you know what? Like I said, there's something I always said, you learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen. And even if you just pick up the phone and you call 630-890-1213, or you go to Calendly for the consultation. It doesn't, listen, we all have some time. We have 5-10 minutes, whatever it is, to pick up the phone or look and ask the questions. You have the dumbest question is, or the worst question is the one you don't ask. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions about anything. And now, especially when you're dealing with financing here and retirement, which we're all trying to do. I don't know how many new people are actually retired. I see a lot of younger guys still retiring. I know 4 of my buddies already, because they had the pension from years ago. I don't know anybody that's retiring now at a certain age, right? Because everything has changed. The pensions are gone. Everything has changed now.
And what you're seeing now too, like, as I mentioned earlier about the disclaimer about, you know, the FTC coming down, you know, they're limiting us on what we can actually talk about. And so then what that tells me is that that's going to limit the amount of people that are going to become more aware and using social media as their way of learning things, right? So it is imperative that you have the conversation. It is imperative that you take the time. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, I've got more time. And when you talk about retirement, you know, the people that you see retired, they either had somebody in their corner, or like you said, they have a pension. Yeah. I'm fortunate. I do have a pension. My previous career, I was part of a union. We have a pension. I still have the pension, even though I left, you know, that career. So I'm very grateful for that. Sure. But here's what's crazy. Even when I was in that former career, they told us we had the best benefits. Most people working for a job, they're told they have the best benefits, but likelihood, especially of people who in this age range that are getting ready to retire, they most likely have had the same job or the same company. Younger generations, they're jumping from job to job, right? So they're seeking seeking different things. And some of them are a little bit more open, but if I give people all the value and they just don't take, you know, they don't implement it, then therefore, you know, retirement is more of like a fantasy than the reality. And you'll also see, Tony, this is what's crazy. You'll also see that more people are more afraid, the percentages, more people are more afraid of actually running out of money than they are of actually passing away, which is sad to me, because I see all these wonderful people. I meet wonderful people every single day, and they're so stressed out, and they put themselves in the ground faster, or they put themselves in sickness, which is very costly. And then the money that they thought they were going to retire on is gone like that. And it's simply because of the stress. And, you know, but nobody else is going to really talk about that. Right. And, you know, and go to that. And so.
No, it's almost like, when it's almost like the big pharma, when they have the natural drugs that are out there, or natural herbs and stuff that that can help you do stuff, and they'll never let you know about that. Like the Native Americans, what they've been using for centuries, and they don't never want you to. And it's proven that some of this stuff works. There's people that take it every day, but that big pharma will never let you. They don't want you to know this stuff. So I know exactly what you're saying. The most important thing, we're out of time. You need to call Wendy or Craig Coughlin, ladies and gentlemen, 630-890-1213, or book them on Calendly for a free consultation to start building the retirement you deserve. Very simple. Also, folks, pick up the phone and call them. And don't forget, you can also see Wendy on the 24th of June, 7 p.m. It's called Becoming Your Own Bank, and it's right there on Webner. Just check out her page there on Calendly, and she'll be able to talk to you. You can ask her some questions, and she can add them. We're going to have her on the show. And Wendy's also an entertainer. She comes and performs a lot. She'll be doing some stuff with us, and just, private messenger too. Hey, man, I want to learn more about this. Or better yet, pick up the phone. 630-890-1213, Becoming Your Own Bank with Imperial X. Wendy, we have got to go. Give my best to Craig. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, anybody that contacts me, I have a download, and I developed this download. It's a life essentials checklist, and it really helps like put things in order. So at the very least, contact me, and I will send you, obviously, does no cost of this PDF download. And you can go to wendysgift.com.
You can't beat that, folks. So please check it out. Wendy, thank you so much. You have a great day there. Say hello to Craig for me, and we'll see you soon. Guys, it's coming to the end of the hour. Actually, it is the hour. It's 1:00 in the afternoon. And you know what? It means that we have to go. And what a show today, because, you're learning something about local establishments like the Backyard Marina and Johnsburg. And then you're learning also about trying to become your own bank with Imperial X. It's important, and we really appreciate you guys doing this. Okay, guys, let's get real fast to some birthdays here. It is 1:00. What's the birthdays now for Wednesday, the 18th of June? William Whitman Mayo, who played Grady on Sanford and Son, celebrating a birthday, 93 years old. Tommy Q from Mojo's Jukebox, and of course, Stevie McVie, great guitar player. He's on Focus too, great band, Foco. Happy birthday, Tommy. Rod Argent from Zombies, celebrating a birthday. Ray Davies of the Kinks, they're getting back together and they're doing a new album. I'm excited about that. Noddy Holder, one of the greatest rock singers of all time, with the great band Slade, 79 years old. Pete Hegseth, folks, he's a Secretary of Defense, celebrating a birthday. Mario Rubio, Secretary of State, celebrating a birthday, folks. Jim Belushi, 71 years old. Courtney Cox from Friends, 61 years old. Oh, the list goes on and on. Andy Pettitte, one of the great baseball pitchers from the Yankees. Bruce Johnston, 83 years old, formerly, and still has his own Beach Boys band out there. Tupac celebrated a birthday. Ken Madoff, a great keyboard player in the city of Chicago. Walter Cronkite, CBS, from 62 to 81. We're throwing some great numbers. My good buddy John Leonardi, Vice President of the Italian Sports Hall of Fame. Johnny, happy birthday. Danny Nozak, celebrating a birthday, folks. And, of course, Sir Paul McCartney, 82 years old. Of course, Sir Paul McCartney of the Beatles, formerly on his own. All right, guys, we got to go, and let's not forget our good friends from Ace Hardware. Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, folks. Get a free $10 gift card when you purchase a $50 gift card. Many more offers for the whole month of June. Come on by and grab those savings. Don't forget the nationwide grilling event. Saturday, June 28th from 11 to 2, brats, hot dogs, and burgers. Stop on by at the Norwich location, folks. And from 12 to 1, Tony Ocean and Jerry Jans will be performing an hour concert. And while supplies last, any flowers or live plants that's still there, folks, 95% off. Don't forget to tell them to grill your Ace off, and download the Ace Rewards app. We keep track of your points, coupons, and special offers. That's Ace is the place. Buy local, shop local, helping neighbors before they were neighborhoods. Guys, we got to go. Remember, I'll see you Thursday at Positano's, Friday, Chicago Prime, Saturday, the Getaway in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and Sunday, the Backyard Marina in Johnsburg. We want to thank Julie for the Backyard Marina in Johnsburg. We want to thank Wendy from Imperial Lux. Guys, be kind to one another, support local establishments, support live entertainment. It's important to be nice. And if you're offended with anything that you hear on this show or anything that you hear on the radio or television or whatever it is, turn the channel. And just because you're offended does not mean you're right. Tomorrow, back with Toxic Thursday with Carol Brandolino. And Friday, we're going to be ranking the top 10 best Beatle albums with our panel, Matt Cassane, Chris Minardi, and Nick Sahajas. Going to happen on Friday. A lot of stuff here. Ocean's Pit, little show about big things. Nick, take us out.
It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
Dara says, peace and love. We need it more than ever. God bless you all. Have a great day. See you tomorrow for Toxic Thursday.